All right. Now let's talk about what I just went through. Jack, while you were off gallivanting around Italy, having the time of your life, eating and drinking wine and just laughing and giggling and fucking around, I was getting scammed online like a boomer.
Steve, what happened?
Well, Jack, I steered away from old reliable Airbnb,
Mm-hmm.
and that turned out to be a mistake. So as you know, I was looking for a 3-month stay in South Florida, right?
Right.
For the winter. And rather than going on, well, we did look on Airbnb, but then we looked on Furnished Finder. Okay. So Furnished Finder is a listing app originally made for travel nurses, where anyone can list their furnished property, kind of like Airbnb, except you don't really book through the app like you do with Airbnb. You actually book with the host or the property manager directly. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we saw these prices in South Florida. It's a competitive market. It's expensive down there, especially if you're trying to go in peak season like me, go when all the snowbirds are trying to go January, February, March.
Right.
So we look on Furnished Finder and we're like, these prices are a lot better than Airbnb. Let's start doing this. Alita and I, we put together like a whole spreadsheet of like different amenities, like different places, right? We're like trying to pick our favorites. And finally we settle on a really nice spot that's along a canal, kind of between Miami and Fort Lauderdale. It was like had 2 beds. It was going to be awesome. And so we're ready to move forward.
Right. Okay.
So I messaged the host, and there are a lot of red flags, first of all, that I should have noticed.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why I ignored some of the red flags like an idiot.
Okay.
So I start texting with the host. I'm like, hey, I want to sign this 3-month lease. They're like, okay. They had really bad like spelling and grammar when they're texting me. Which
you think it was like on purpose, or like you think they were like foreign?
They're probably foreign. It's a known scammer type of thing. They just like they'll do like a space before a comma or a period, right? Like just like weird, shitty like grammar. But I assumed because the name was Maria Dominguez, I thought she was just, a Latin American person in South Florida, which is common, and maybe English isn't her first language. So I kind of gave her the benefit of the doubt that was why she had bad spelling and grammar. So I let that slide. Then she sends me a lease agreement, and it's under a different name. Instead of Maria Dominguez, it's Natalia Dominguez. And I was like, hey, what's up with this? And she's like, oh, that's my sister. I was like, okay, yeah, maybe they just kind of run the property together. That's fine.
Okay, yeah. Maybe yellow flag. Nothing too crazy. Yeah.
Yellow flag. All this time, I am running this through ChatGPT. ChatGPT is like, you should look up the name, make sure they're with the county in Florida, and make sure that they are the real owner. I did that. It is listed under Maria Dominguez. It's all good.
That's a smart ChatGPT move.
Yeah, I'm doing some due diligence. I'm trying to make sure everything's legit. And then they're like, okay, pay your deposit. Okay. So Furnished Finder has a payment partner called KeyCheck. It's like a separate website, but they're like partners. It's like Furnished Finder's payment portal.
Okay.
Now, here's where I went wrong. I didn't think there was any risk here because like Airbnb, if it's a scam or a fake listing, like Airbnb will just refund you, like no problem, right? So I was like, okay, and there's no risk here. I pay my security deposit, okay, and it's all good. We're like, okay, sweet, we got the place booked. We signed the lease, this was like a couple months ago or whatever. And then a couple days ago, I get a text from the landlord
Okay.
saying, hey, we just had a meeting with our homeowners association, and they're no longer allowing short-term rentals starting in January 2026. Pretty convenient timing, because that's exactly when my lease was supposed to start.
Yeah. Okay.
And so they're like, so you can sign for 12 months, or we can cancel this 3-month lease. I'll give you your security deposit back.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, we're not going to do 12 months. Just give me the deposit back. Of course, they're not giving my deposit back. A couple days go by.
What?
They respond.
Like no communication?
Slow communication. They respond after a couple days and they go, oh, sorry for the delay. Like, my grandmother was hospitalized and I had to take care of that. Which is a huge scammer red flag. I know all this. I've looked all this up now. Like, scammers always say like they have a family member in the hospital. For what, if they ever like do anything weird, that's always their excuse.
That's such bad, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm like a karma guy or something. Like, I don't know if I believe in a lot of that, but I mean, using an excuse of like a loved one being hurt or like in the hospital, I would never say that. Just like, I just feel like that's such a slimy, terrible. You never want to think about your loved ones like being hurt like that. Like, that is just is such a terrible thing to say, in my opinion.
It's messed up, but I don't think these people are like professional scammers. I don't think they care about morals or karma. So anyway, I reach out to, then I'm just like, okay, I start putting the pieces together. I was like, this is a fucking scam. This is a fake listing. I look it up. I realize that what this person is doing, even though I did look up the name and they are the owner of the property, Maria, this person is not Maria. They just put a fake listing up on Furnished Finder, and they
don't even own that property.
Right. They're just impersonating the real property owner. This person could be in fucking Nigeria or whatever, just pretending to be Maria. Also, my dumbass never did like a phone call with them, or like, I should have done a phone call. That's what you're supposed to do. But I didn't think it was risky. I didn't think it was risky because I paid through Furnished Finder. So then I reach out to Furnished Finder. I say, hey, I realize this is a scam. This person's not going to give me my deposit back. You guys can just refund me, right, through your payment portal, key check, right? And they go, oh, Furnished Finder support goes, oh no, like, we don't do that. They go, we are a listing service. We only list the properties. Everything else is decided between you and the landlord. So that is a major difference between Furnished Finder and Airbnb. Airbnb is a booking platform. Furnished Finder is just for listing. So you book through Airbnb, you don't actually book through Furnished Finder. And even their payment portal is just there, I think, so they can take like a cut of a credit card fee that they charge or something. That payment portal doesn't mean shit. It's not actually secure. If you get scammed, they don't give you a refund. So I'm just like, what the fuck?
Damn.
So I'm out a bunch of money. I keep messaging the landlord. I'm like, give me my deposit back. Give me my deposit. And they're like, okay, here you go. I sent it. And they send me like a fake ass email that says like, we've refunded your deposit. It's super, like the email address. It's like, it comes from like Stripe, but it's like Stripe 6954HG, like one of those like fake ass email addresses. It's just all so phony. Anyway, I'm collecting all this evidence.
That's so unlucky.
I'm telling Furnished Finder. Then, dude, so here's the good news, I guess, to wrap this story up, and then I want to shit on Furnished Finder some more. Thank God I did pay with my Chase credit card. I contacted Chase, like gave them screenshots of everything. I was like, this is clearly a scam. And Chase did refund my security deposit. So we're good there.
Nice.
But Furnished Finder, dude, then I'm looking on Furnished Finder and I realized that like all of the fucking listings are fake like this. They're all like really sketchy. If you look closely, like none of the hosts have a profile picture or like even like profile information. It's all just like NA. Like they don't actually fill it. It's all fake listings. Like I'd say
Damn.
95% of the ones, at least in South Florida, where we were looking. And it's all just people trying to do this scam. And, you know, Furnished Finder fucking sucks. First of all, they're like, you're welcome to write a review of this property owner, which I did. And then Furnished Finder denied it. They're like, sorry,
Wait,
we're not going to
why?
post. They go, we're not going to post this review because it uses the word scam. I was like, well, that's what it was. They're like, this is to protect you from like defamation or something. I was like, what?
Oh my gosh. No, they just want to have more listings for their company.
Yes.
Like-
So that's how Furnished Finder makes money. It's not through the guests, it's through the hosts. The landlords pay a monthly fee to be on the website to list properties on it.
Oh,
So
okay.
they are almost protecting these scammers because the scammers are giving Furnished Finder money.
Yeah.
Then I look up Furnished Finder on like the Better Business Bureau. It has like F ratings on all that kind of stuff. Like the landlords hate it. And I think they've been losing landlords at a rapid pace because it's such a shitty website that they're just doing everything to keep business. So they're just okay with these scammers being on there. They also blocked me. Furnished Finder blocked me from using the app, or at least the messaging service of the app.
No way.
I don't know why, but they're like, this service, like you're blocked from using this service.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know why.
That's ridiculous.
I feel like they're trying to silence me or something. So yeah, I have a lot of beef with Furnished Finder right now. Yeah.
I feel like with even if you did the phone call, right? I just feel like with like AI and stuff, or like even a more sophisticated scammer, like they would easily be able to get around that. Like there's really no way to,
I know, to know
protect
for sure.
yourself unless they did. I mean, I guess that's the key. That's why Airbnb maybe is so good because they escrow the money basically. Like
Exactly.
yeah.
And then finally, I just end up disabling my fucking Furnished Finder account. I was like, I don't want my information on here anymore. I want nothing. Like, it's just weird because I reached out to so many of these hosts and like, dude, I even did like a background check and a credit check to this host who scammed me. So they can literally see my bank account and my credit card statements to know exactly how much money I had for them to scam out of me. They're like, okay,
No way.
this guy is clean. Yeah. I gave them a background check through KeyCheck, also the Furnished Finder payment portal.
Oh my.
So that just put us in a shitty situation because then it's like, well, now we're scrambling to find a place,
Right.
with like a month to go. And we actually did find this guy on Furnished Finder who did look legit. And we're like, okay, we're going to actually do a phone call. I was like, I still don't feel comfortable. Like you just said, right?
Yeah.
Anyone could still, even if they look legit. And he's like, I was like, hey, how do you do? So we do a phone call with this guy.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah. And I just straight up told him, I was like, we were scammed recently. Like, I'm not super comfortable with paying you directly. Like, how else can we? And he's like, oh, the listing is on Airbnb. If you just want to go through Airbnb, you can see the reviews there, everything. And I was like, yes, we're going through Airbnb. So we found it on Furnished Finder, booked it on Airbnb. That's just much safer. Airbnb
Nice.
actually protect their the guests, which Furnished Finder does not. So
Damn, that's so unlucky. I'm really glad though that Chase refunded you. That's good. That would have been really shitty if not.
yeah, at the end of the day, it's all good. But it's shitty that we wasted all this time. Like I said, like making a spreadsheet of all the different properties we're looking at and like,
Yeah.
applying for different ones, like doing all this shit for all these scammers basically and wasting all this time. And then we had to scramble and find a place last minute after everything had been already picked over. Ended up getting a place in Pompano Beach, which isn't like an ideal area, but whatever. We'll be in a warm place for the winter, so it works out. But
I sent the location to someone familiar with the area, and they say you got a great spot. So
good. Yeah. I know Pompano Beach, some people call it Pompton, like Compton.
oh, really? I've never heard that.
There are parts that have a high crime rate, but I think our area, just based on my research, is pretty nice. So it's all good.
Well, isn't Kodak Black from Pompano?
Oh.
Am I making that up? Like, hold on, let me check. Yeah, he is.
That's hilarious, dude.
Nice, dude. There you go. A little more street cred.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so is Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's pretty sweet.
I'm just like those guys. I'm just like Lamar Jackson and fucking Kodak Black. I can hang with them for sure.
Yeah, you love all their. Yeah, you're really good at football and rapping. Yeah. So, Steve, are we going to go on a crusade on our pod about going against Furnished Finder, or what's up?
Yeah, so I saw that their CEO was recently on a podcast, so I'm going to try to get him on here. Hopefully, he doesn't listen to this episode before and hears us bashing his company.
So, are we like sneak attack him? Are we sneak attack?
I want to sneak attack, make it, just do some information gathering, keep it, give him some softball questions. And then I'm just going to hit him with like, so how do you feel about connecting innocent people with scammers for a living? See what he says.
Man, that's crazy. Okay. I'm totally down, honestly. I got to do some research on this guy too.
Someone on Twitter said, why doesn't Airbnb just buy Furnished Finder? So then Furnished Finder can become a booking platform, and you can book through it and then people are protected. Because right now it's just so shitty. Like, I just don't trust it at all. Like I said, deactivated my account. I'm fucking done with those clowns.
It's so interesting, right? Because I've been doing short-term rentals in South Florida for a while too. And I haven't used Airbnb once, but I've straight up had to just Zelle people money for my deposit. And I just maybe I just gotten super lucky. I haven't gotten scammed,
Zelle is sketch. Actually, when I first asked for the refund, I forgot that part. My landlord was like, oh yeah, do you have Zelle? And Zelle is it's easy to scam people and it's hard to get your money back. Yeah. So don't use Zelle.
Yeah. No, my last one, I literally used Zelle. I'm like, you don't have you own 20 properties. You don't have some sort of thing,
Ooh. Well, you got lucky, but be careful with that shit, dude. Zelle is sketch.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm glad you found a place. I'm very excited to hang.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be fun. But let's get to our final topic. Enough of my crybaby story. Let's get to our
spicy.
Let's get to our nomad news for the day. And it's related kind of to the whole short-term rental thing. But this is about a different short-term rental company that recently went bankrupt. And that is Sonder.
R.I.P.
Jack, have you ever stayed in a Sonder, used Sonder?
I have, actually. In Austin, Texas, I used a Sonder. I think I have one other time. Yeah, I remember it was one of our first nomad spots.
Yes. Okay, well, here, we'll talk about Sonder and what happened first, and then maybe we'll talk about our personal things. Okay, so what happened with Sonder, and for those who aren't aware of what Sonder is, it was founded in 2014, originally in Montreal, shout out, but later headquartered in San Francisco. Basically, their business model is, similar to Airbnb. They manage apartments or units. So not really hotel rooms, but more things like Airbnbs that we stay in for short-term rentals. And it's a tech-enabled service, so you can book it through an app and things like that. It was international, not just in the US, but they had properties across North America, Europe, Dubai. They even went public in 2022. And then they started partnering with Marriott. So like I actually just stayed in like a Marriott. It was like a hotel type of thing that was that was like a Sonder building. Just like a month ago in Canada when we went to
Okay.
Ottawa for the weekend. Um, but yeah, so I guess Marriott terminated their partnership. Like this was like a week ago or a few days ago. And immediately following that, Sonder filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which, Jack, we've talked about on this show before. We still don't really know what bankruptcy means, but it
You're right.
seemed not good.
I thought it was Chapter 11. What's Chapter 7 mean? Is there two different kinds?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Either way, I guess they're out of money.
Yeah, so they're out of money. And what they did was they immediately like made the service unusable. They canceled any bookings that people, had already booked ahead of time. And they even told current guests to evacuate. Like if some guests were told that they had less than 24 hours to check out of the Sonder that they were currently staying in.
No way.
No way. So big cities, like New York, Barcelona, other kind of digital nomad destinations, people who had already spent money with this were told that they couldn't check in. Obviously, that's really shitty when you get your thing canceled last minute because then you have to find a new place and it's expensive. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
So
wow. I don't understand. Why do they have to move out immediately? Are they just going to like instantly sell them all? Or like, I mean,
that's what I don't get, dude. Apparently they
sounds weird.
Apparently one guy, after he returned to his room, he found his bags packed in the hallway in Boston.
No way.
He packed up his shit for him. But yeah, that's insane. So even if you were like, yeah, book this for the next month, they were like, no, you got to evacuate the premises immediately.
Damn, and Sonder's expensive too. Like Sonder's expensive. That's wild. I can't believe they did that. Packing everyone's whose job was it to, all right, I'm going to go in here. I've never met this person before. I think I know what their things are. I think I know what the Sonder stuff is. I'm just going to start throwing stuff in the bag. Like who packs a bag for someone else?
Yeah, right.
Like that's some dystopian shit. Like
that's really personal. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, like did you get all my underwear or not? Like, like.
So apparently, Marriott, because they were marketing the Sonder properties through the Marriott website, they did pledge to refund any customers who booked through Marriott, but apparently did not help them book new accommodations or offer any discounts. Yeah, this pissed off a lot of Marriott Bonvoy members. They say they're going to end their memberships. Yeah, just a really shitty thing for all those people. I still don't know why Sonder had to be so rash with everything. Just wild.
It's crazy because like our last apartment in Rome was right next to a Sonder. And I'm like, I'm like, oh my God, like a Sonder. Yeah. Like, have you heard about this? Like, it's sort of like corporate meets Airbnb. Like, it was pretty nice when I stayed in one. And then like, we literally walk upstairs and there's like the article of them like going under. I'm like, well, I guess that was the whole story, That was it. I always felt like it was too expensive. Like, I don't know what your experience was. It was really expensive for like what you got. Like, maybe the business model wasn't sound. Like, they just couldn't afford. It was so expensive because they just weren't acquiring the properties in a cheap way, And they try to make it like super nice and trendy looking and everything, and I think that's just like difficult to do. And it's also, I think that's why Airbnbs usually don't have that great of furniture, is because once you have a lot of traffic, it's just like impossible to maintain like good furniture. It's like they just, yeah.
Well, I did stay in a Sonder also in Austin, in the one in Canada, and I think like one other time. And I had a good experience each time. Like the Austin one we stayed in for like a month or so. Yeah, but this was years ago. It might be different these days, but I thought it was fine. What's been your experience, Jack?
Yeah, mine was really nice in Austin. It was good. It was just like a lot more expensive. I think I paid like $3,500 or something for the month.
Oh, damn.
And
Okay.
it was like a studio or something. Like, it was kind of wild. Yeah. And I did read that article. It was like, I think they were valued at like 2.2 billion at some point in like 2022. And then now they're valued under 10 million. So like it really cratered. Like, yeah. I hope there's some juicy stuff that comes out, or at least just like them talking about like why it didn't work out, you know? Like there's even there's a Sonder like by my old place in Miami Beach. Like they're kind of everywhere. Like, and
Yeah, I've seen them
the
more and
other
more.
competitor, yeah, it's like those other competitors like Blue Grounds, I think it's called, or like
Hmm.
Home Living or something like that. Like there's a few like sort of similar, which I think generally like at a high level, it kind of makes like I see the angle where it's like the one thing I don't like about Airbnbs that I think the hotels do get is like there's a level of consistency with like a corporate enterprise doing it that you don't get with Airbnb, you know? And so I think there's like some kind of angle there, but it seems like maybe it's just like not scalable. Like the reason why Airbnb works is because like at a very small scale, you have like one person who cares about their one spot and they can like make that good, even though it's like different from everyone else, you know? Whereas like they're trying to like make this happen everywhere and it just like the economics don't work out or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
but like that's kind of my
No,
vibe with it.
that could be it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's good and bad. I don't know. Airbnb, they have their problems too and whatever, but overall, I mean, they have air cover, which is nice. So if someone does cancel on you, like your host cancels on you last minute, they will like help you find a new place and they'll pay for it, whereas these Sonder dudes just kicked everyone out and didn't help them rebook a new place. So like, I don't know. Airbnb definitely has its benefits. Everyone has their pros and cons, but yeah, RIP Sonder, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild,
Um,
honestly.
what other takes do you have? Did you have another Sonder thing, or it was just in Italy you
That was
saw?
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my hot take.
yeah. Well, shout out to Sonder. Let me see if I had anything else I wanted to talk about with that. What the fuck happened? Um, yeah,
We
I
gotta
don't know. That's
stay in touch. I'm sure things will come out of the bankruptcy proceedings. That'll be some juicy info, you know.
yeah, yeah. Maybe they were scamming people like these Furnished Finder crooks.
Uh,
Uh, yeah. All right. Well, I think that's our show for today then.
yes, that was great.
Good times. All right. Thank you, everyone, for checking us out. And be sure to follow along on social media at Nomads No Worries podcast and see what we're up to. Feel free to hit us up. And everyone, have a great day.
Steve, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you don't get scammed ever again.
I might. Apparently, I'm a fucking idiot, but it happens.
I don't think you are, man. That sucks, though. That's just unlucky.
All right. Peace out, Girl Scouts.